Alright, so everyone, this is it. The grand final of the UGA second season. We have the Sinnoh Division champion versus the Galar Division champion, and here we see, despite both having that Metagross on their team, the Galar champ Tay decides to not bring the Metagross, and instead opting for that Moltres, Blaziken, Garchomp, Slowpoke, Obstagoon, and the Articuno. Neither team opting to bring their redirection, and the Sinnoh champ opting to bring that Sneasel, Metagross, Spectrier, Darmanitan, Swampert, and Whimsicott. Now I think this is I can see a lot of possible weakness policy procs. We have Surf with Sneasel and Darmanitan, we have Bulldoze with the Spectrier and Darmanitan or the Metagross. So I think I see there's just a lot of power, this very hyper offense for Tay to deal with. So let's see how he decides to deal with it. He's choosing to bring out the Articuno and the Garchomp as the lead, with the Obstagoon and Moltres in the back. Opting to lead back that Pseudo Trickery mode we've seen him pull against Ben in the Galar finals, so let's see if that pays off for him. Here we go, the long-awaited grand final. Here we see Ryder bringing out the Sneasel and the Spectrier. So this is looking pretty decent for Tay. The Sneasel could obviously put some pressure onto that Garchomp. Didn't get to see what he was going there. Looks like he was going for that Tailwind on the Articuno, not something you typically see on that Pokemon. Not something I would expect anyways. Garchomp, seeing that Sneasel, seeing that all of this power, Mike could just go for Protect to try to live this turn so that you can actually use this Tailwind, since Articuno isn't exactly one of the fastest Tailwind setters. And Ryder going for that Dynamax turn 1, and I'm not thinking it's the Sneasel, so we're going to see Series 9. This is not Series 10, so we're going to see that Dynamax for that Spectrier. And whatever it's going to hit, it's going to hit hard. Garchomp going for that Protect, just trying to protect any possible damage from that Sneasel from, say, a Triple Axle. And Sneasel going for a feint, trying to break that Protect, but it's on the wrong Pokemon. It goes into the Articuno instead. Unfortunately breaking that Focus Sash. So, oh my gosh, but it lives on 12 HP from that Spectrier and Sneasel Feint Phantasm combo. Garchomp's turn effectively wasted, but as long as it remains on the field, it can still take advantage of this Tailwind that Articuno set up for it. That was a clutch lift for the Articuno, just allowing that Garchomp to, despite doing nothing on the field this turn, it can actually do something this turn. But I think a feint was a amazing bring for the Sneasel. It's something that Tay has definitely used in the past to great success, and I guess he just got lucky that the Articuno was able to bulk it out for this turn. Now let's see how Ryder will adjust. And that also means for Tay, the Focus Sash actually wasn't revealed, and Blizzard hitting both Pokemon, breaking any possible Focus Sash on the Sneasel, with Garchomp going for the Earthquake, not hitting his partner Articuno. Oh, and it getting him some really good damage, revealing that Life Orb. Phantasm going to knock out something. And I was wrong, this Garchomp living again from this Life Orb Spectrier. This defense drop, though, not looking good for something else on this, taking attacks from this Sneasel, and it's going for that triple axle. Yep, 4 times quad effect, 4 times effective, and the Rough-Skin taking it so low. But honestly, Garchomp, it did a lot of work. Spectrior's max is almost done. And with that Moltres in the back, I think, and with the Moltres in the back and Tailwind up, the Spectrior isn't exactly doing a lot, especially against both of these Dark-type Pokemon. Moltres coming out. Got his 2 Kanto birds out on the field side by side. Well, let's see what Tay will choose to do with this setup. Still got a couple turns of Tailwind to work with, and his Dynamax, which is a very handy thing to have in Series 9. And of course, the single does have that super effective triple axle into the Moltres, but as you can see, you maybe saw, it does have that weakness policy. So if it were not to Dynamax, and since it gets off 3 triple axles, it could possibly proc Berserk and weakness policy in the same turn, but they're not taking that chance, going for that Dynamax in for that Moltres. Showing just how terrifying it can be. Sneasel opting to go for that feint, just getting that priority attack into the Articuno, taking it out, but honestly Articuno did exactly what it needed to. It got some damage and it brought up that Tailwind. Moltres just opting to raise its speed again for when that Tailwind ends with the Toxilus Whimsicott Tailwind in the back, and unless this, and Spectre does have that max strike, a very smart bring, because Ryder probably knew Moltres was coming because it did so well into both the Spectre and the Metagross. So Airstream and the Strike just canceling each other out. Obstagoon coming out. Now this is a little, this could still be a bit awkward for Tay if, let's say, he has that. Oh, Metagross is coming out. Not exactly what you want to bring out in front of 2 Dark-type Pokemon, especially when one of them has that Dynamax. Tay opting to see that very just basic 3 attack protect. Obstagoon pretty effective, especially into these Pokemon right here. Trying to decide what to go for. We can see some protects, and that we see that Tailwind is about to expire this turn. So he can either opt to go for another Airstream into the Airstream to keep effectively +2 on that Moltres as if the Tailwind was still there, or it can go for just pure damage into either Pokemon. But it looks like he is opting to go for that max Airstream. I think that is a very smart play, as he still, even if Spectre did go for that protect, you still have 1 turn of Dynamax to work with here. And scouting out for a possible Metagross protect, Spectre also going for that protect. Let's see if this max Airstream will do enough. And, oh, and it doesn't, it lives pretty comfortably, not comfortably, but more importantly, getting that speed raise on the Obstagoon and the Moltres. Obstagoon protecting itself from that Metagross, and now without Whimsicott on field, there isn't exactly any way for Ryder to gain back any speed control here. So Obstagoon, depending on how both these Pokemon are EV trained, but I'm pretty sure this Obstagoon will outspeed this Metagross. We can see with that knockoff what item this Metagross is holding. Knockoff goes into the Metagross, super effective hit, and it is the Assault Vest. Just trying to take as much damage from the Moltres as possible, but without it, it's just gonna go down for its efforts, not doing anything on the field. you're having to go for that Hyper Beam, likely not, if it does, likely not having much shot. And it goes out instead of the optimum for its efforts. The Spectre just not able to take the KOs it needed. Everything just living on that red sliver of health. And now it's just Darmanitan against the world. And even if this Darmanitan is Choice Scarf, if the Obstagoon is full EV trained, it might still outspeed. They do speed tie, but both at that base 95 speed. Tay going for the smart play, trying to just scout out what the Darmanitan has. Obstagoon going for that knockoff. Let's see what the item is, and it is the Choice Band, not the Choice Scarf. So Obstagoon is always outspeeding, and with Moltres also at +2 is just going to take this game 1 pretty handedly, in my opinion. Now, what I think, that was a very good game 1 for Tay, and I think for this game 2, I think that Whimsicott could be a pretty good bring if it has something like that Tailwind, like that Helping Hand. Just at that immediate damage output, I think could really help Ryder bring himself back into this game. But also for Tay, only one item was revealed on his Pokemon, that Life Orb on the Garchomp. Because of the feint, the Focus Sash, and wasn't revealed on the Articuno. Moltres was never hit for super effective damage, so this weakness policy was never procced. And of course, the Obstagoon not being hit by something like a superpower from the Darmanitan, so Tropical Berry wasn't revealed either. So let's see how both teams will change it up. Tay looking at that Blaziken with that Air Balloon. Tay looking to see that Articuno in the lead, but instead with Obstagoon in the lead. Maybe bringing the same 4, but just change the order a bit. I can see that working. The Garchomp does not want to be put in front of that Sneasel. No way, no how. And Tay, looking to instead drop that Moltres for the Slowpoke. Maybe trying to predict a Whimsicott. Predict that Tailwind. Oh, and he's locked in. Let's see if Slowpoke can do the same thing as able to do for Tay in the Galar Finals. This is game 2. Tay is up 1-0, and Ryder has to really pull himself back into this game. Yeah, and he was right. But he does bring out that Whimsicott and the Darmanitan and a complete change-up in the lead. Now here's the thing. Tay probably thinks he can safely go for that Tailwind and the Air Blitz into the Articuno, but it does have that Focus Sash. So, if that's something Tay's expecting, he could kind of steal another Tailwind off of this turn. Obstagoon unfortunately not having the best damage output into either Pokemon. Although Double Edge could do a lot of damage. Let's see what Tay opts to go for. It is going to be that Tailwind and knock up into Darmanitan, just getting rid of that Choice Band. The Choice Band Darmanitan just hits like a monster. But Whimsicott going for that Moonblast instead into the Obstagoon, not wanting to do that at all, but again, it lives on the slightest sliver of health. Darmanitan's Choice Band is going to be knocked off, and Articuno is faster than the Darmanitan, goes for that Tailwind, so regardless, it's set up. Darmanitan, going for that Rock Slide. Now there's no hiding it now. The Focus Sash is revealed on the Articuno. Now, here's the awkward thing for this Whimsicott. I can either go for a Tailwind or a Moonblast, but it can either only go for one, get that damage, or get up that speed control. You can't do both, and Garchomp already revealing that Earthquake can hit to that Darmanitan for really good damage, so Ryder has to choose between speed control and damage. They was looking to switch out the Articuno for that Slowpoke, but I think if it does the same thing it did in the other game, I think saving it for the end game. Oh no, he's gonna go for that. Trade as the time runs down and Tay being able to lock in his move at 3 seconds to spare. Slowpoke coming in. Tay going for that Dynamax with the Garchomp. The Darmanitan does not carry the Protect because that Choice Band was revealed. Well, you can infer that it wasn't carrying Protect. Who knows what a Team Builder Rider is, but that's just like going into Whimsicott, and it does that super effect hit, but it does have that focus sash, so it's able to stick on the field for a little bit longer. And because you don't see that Tailwind blow off, you can assume that there's an attack. And Rock Slide coming out, doing some pretty decent damage onto the Garchomp, but more important, Whimsicott going for that Trick Room. That is a move that people often forget as on that Whimsicott. That can often run something like Tail Room, so you can have both sides of the speed control. And Slowpoke looking like a pretty decent switch in now. Was Tay predicting Trick Room, or was just trying to be able to soak up damage? But either way, it was an amazing switch for Tay. Whimsicott coming out of the field, because even though it's at 1 HP, just getting off one Prankster attack could be so pivotal. Slowpoke going for that Whirlpool, but unfortunately Metagross avoiding the attack. It would be nice to get some chip onto that Metagross. Max Quake going into that Darmanitan that could not protect. So Darmanitan is going to go down, only being able to reveal that Rock Slide. Unless this Metagross that has that Ice Punch for an especially strong Max Hailstorm, it would be pretty difficult to get rid of this Garchomp. Ooh! Ryder and the Maryland Magnemites revealing Swampert to be his last. Does have pretty good damage into that Garchomp again, could possibly have an Ice type attack. But either of these Pokemon can Dynamax right here, right now. And this is Tay's last turn of Dynamax. So it's kind of his turn to be without Dynamax for the end of the battle. But I think, yep, Ryder going for that Dynamax. Let's see which one he decided to max in this battle, and it is that Metagross. They probably wish he had the Moltres now. Slowpoke going for that Yawn, so after the next turn, Swampert will be taking a bit of a nap, and with that, Swampert does have that Ice Punch, doing some really good damage into the Garchomp. And Metagross does have that Max Hailstorm. The Garchomp, unfortunately, could not continue the streak of very clutch survivals, and it will be going down without being able to take out either to do any more damage. One finally petering out, but unfortunately for Tay, all he has is a Slowpoke and a 1 HP Articuno. Unless we can see some clutch freezes with Blizzard, since they will be 100% accurate. I think it'd be very tough for Tate to get back into this match. 2 turns of Trick Room left. Ooh, they're looking to go for that quad effective freeze dry onto the Swampert, since that move is super effective on water types as well as the normal effectiveness of ice type moves. So folks, just going for a slack off, trying to stall out a bit more of this match, get that Swampert off, get that Swampert off the field, high horsepower, going into that Slowpoke. Metagross going for that max heal spike into the Articuno, not wanting to give it any room to do anything else in this match. Articuno, unfortunately, after doing so much work in Game 1, just couldn't. It did its job in Game 2 as well, but unfortunately, it was not enough. And now Swampert will be taking a nap. And Slowpoke only having Whirlpool as its damage output, so having to go for Sleep and Whirlpool and Recover is probably going to be the strat. A bit more of a slower paced Game 2 as opposed to Game 1. On hitting that Metagross, so after the next turn, it will also be taking a nap on the field. Going for that Max Quake into the Slowpoke. That's very smart, opting to raise its special defense so that Whirlpool will be doing even less damage than it normally would. And most likely one of the only non-resistant attacks from the Slowpoke. Unfortunately for Tay, all he has to do is just hope he can outlast these 2 Pokemon in the right time. But the Trick Room going off, expiring at the wrong time, Metagross is able to get off another a Stomping Tantrum onto the Slowpoke, as it just goes for that slack off. All of these Pokemon getting just a little bit more chip, anything will help Tay and this Slowpoke just battling it out against the world. And now both of Ryder's Pokemon are asleep. Tay can safely go for a Whirlpool. If the Whimsicott switches into a Whirlpool, it will just be down for the count. Otherwise, these Pokemon will just keep taking that continuous damage. Or depending on how many turns of Hail there are, that Whimsicott is usually taken out if it were to switch in now, which I doubt. Since again, there's no real reason to bring out that Whimsicott. Unless Hail's expiring. But nope. Both he's opting to go for that nap, and Swampert actually waking up, only taking a couple turns sleep. But unfortunately, since it is that Ice Punch, it is not going to do that much damage, and Whirlpool is going to connect. Hail does end this turn, but Whirlpool just slowly chipping away at that Swampert. If Metagross stays asleep and stays asleep this turn as well, oh. Okay, looking to see for that Trick Room, possibly getting off even more Slack Offs. Going for Slack Off and Yawn first, as opposed to just trying to soak up damage before getting it off. Slowpoke doing its best. Look at him. He's just happy to be here. Ryder's trying to decide what he wants to do. The hail is gone, so there is effectively no reason for Windswept to not come out, but just opting to stay here, and high horsepower doing quite a bit of damage onto the Slowpoke while Trick Room goes up. Whirlpool still chipping away at that Swampert. Not wanting to risk the Metagross staying asleep one more turn. We'll go for that slack off, just trying to get as much Whirlpool damage on the Swampert as he can. Ryder still taking his time and decide what he wants to do. Or possibly trying to timer stall, because he does have that Pokemon lead with that 3-1. That could certainly be with that high horsepower missing on the Slowpoke. If it doesn't come down to timer, that could be pretty crucial. And we see that there is still 4 minutes left. That there is of your time for Tay. Just have to see how long this battle has been. And it hits, if it hits that 3-minute mark. So we're going again for that Whirlpool. Its residual damage doing more than the initial attack. Metagross waking up and going for that Stomping Tantrum. Slowpoke again living on 34 HP. Will this Whirlpool take out the Swampert? It doesn't. And not showing how long the Swampert will have been bound by that Whirlpool. I think it's interesting he decided to go for Whirlpool into the Swampert. I think it would have... I guess he was trying to chip it off as much as it could. Now, in a very awkward position, both of the Pokemon can attack the Slowpoke, depending on how much damage it does. If that high horsepower hitting, does it hit? Does it connect? No, it does not. As people like to say in the Pokemon world, if it's not 100% accurate, it is 50% accurate, and that is clearly showing here. And unfortunately, Swampert being freed from that Whirlpool just before it can be taken out. And the Slowpoke doing the absolute most out here. Ryder probably wishing he has something like a Thunder Punch on the Metagross, because this is Swampert. Oh, revealing Protect. Not wanting to get caught up in another Whirlpool, but Tay not even deciding to go for an attack. He's just gonna slack off once again and regain all of that health. Oh, Ryder not even opting to attack the Slowpoke there, just going for it, just going and attacking his own partner. Or maybe was that a misclick or what? But regardless, it doesn't do a lot of damage anyways, and high horsepower does connect this time, but not even the combination without a crit will be a 2-hit knockout, and Slowpoke going for that Trick Room once again. And Tay winning by timer. Oh, I think Ryder ended up there. We didn't see that the 3-minute battle timer on the field, so it's most likely that Ryder, unfortunately, he lost his my time, his move time in this fight. Wow. it is very unfortunate that the grand finals is decided by a timer. But when you have a Slowpoke against a Swampert, a Metagross, and a Whimsicott, what can you do? Honestly, that is a really, but still, I just cannot commentate enough for all that he's been able to do this season, coming out against one of his best friends and the undefeated Hawkeye Ben to take the Galar Championship and going undefeated all the way through grand finals and just managing to stay that little Slowpoke doing the most, staying alive all throughout this season. GG's to both you, Tape, and you, Ryder. You have done amazing this season to make it this far. I cannot commend the both of you enough in this such a massive league we have here. And this has been the grand finals of the UGA season 2. And I will see you all next time for season 3. Thank you for watching.